But man's ambition is so great that, in order to satisfy a present desire, he does not think about the harm that may result from it some time from now.
You play by the rules, you act with honor, and you still get outmaneuvered by people who don't. You were told that being a good person was enough, but that's a lie sold to you by people who want you to be manageable. In a world designed to hold you down, what if the secret to becoming unbreakable isn't being nicer, but being smarter? Niccolò Machiavelli wrote the playbook centuries ago, and today, we're going to break down 3 of his rules you can use to become truly unstoppable. This isn't a history lesson. This is your initiation into the mechanics of power. Machiavelli, the Florentine diplomat, wasn't a monster. He was a realist. He looked at the chaos of Renaissance Italy, a brutal landscape of betrayal and shifting alliances. And he didn't write about how the world should work. He wrote about how it does work. His masterpiece, The Prince, wasn't for tyrants. It was a survival manual for leaders who wanted to build something that lasts in a world designed to tear it all down. He understood that to be unbreakable, you can't be naive. You can't be a lamb in a world of wolves. You have to understand the nature of both the fox and the lion. These principles are just as relevant in today's boardroom, social circles, and personal ambitions as they were in 16th century courts. This is the forbidden knowledge, the unspoken rules that decide who rises and who falls. For anyone who feels overlooked, underestimated, or exploited, this isn't about becoming a villain. It's about refusing to be a victim ever again. We're about to dissect 3 of Machiavelli's most potent strategies. Prepare yourself. This is your blueprint for strength. Rule 1. Neutralize threats. Completely. The first and most critical rule is this. You must neutralize threats completely. Don't just wound them, warn them, or shame them. You eliminate them from the field of play so thoroughly, they can never rise against you again. This is what separates the amateur from the master. Most people make a fatal mistake. When they face a rival, a colleague who's undermining them, a competitor stealing their market share, they aim to win the immediate battle. They expose the lie, win the argument, land one satisfying punch, and walk away thinking it's over. They believe in the power of a warning shot. They think that by proving their superiority once, they've taught their opponent a lesson. They leave their enemy wounded, but alive, humiliated, but still in the game. This isn't victory. It's a disastrous mistake. A wounded enemy is the most dangerous adversary you will ever create. You've shown them your strength, but you've also revealed a critical weakness. You don't have the will to finish the job. You've given them a reason for revenge while leaving them the means to get it. Their humiliation won't turn into respect. It will curdle into a patient, obsessive hatred. While you're celebrating your small win, they're in the shadows, plotting, gathering allies, and waiting for the moment you're distracted or weak. And then they will return, not to wound you, but to destroy you. As Machiavelli knew, an injured opponent becomes a smoldering ember, just waiting for a gust of wind to become a wildfire. Think about the corporate world. You expose a coworker's incompetence in a meeting and feel vindicated. But that coworker is still at the company. Now, they see you as a direct threat to their survival. They'll spend their energy sabotaging your work, spreading rumors, and withholding information. That single blow you landed was a declaration of war. A war you stopped fighting the second you thought you'd won. You created an enemy inside the gates because you chose a moment of mercy over long-term security. Every unresolved threat is a crack in your armor. It signals to everyone, allies and rivals alike, that your authority isn't absolute. It tells them they can challenge you and survive. Machiavelli gives the stark example of Hiero of Syracuse. When Hiero became commander of the army, he realized his mercenaries were disloyal and dangerous. A lesser leader would have tried to manage them or buy their loyalty. Hiero saw the disease. He led them into battle, then withdrew his own citizens, leaving the mercenaries to be completely cut to pieces by the enemy. It was brutal, but it was final. He then built a new, loyal army and ruled without the constant threat of betrayal. He understood you can't build a fortress on untrustworthy stones. The Machiavellian solution is cold and absolute. A threat must be removed. Today, this removal is strategic, not literal. It means firing the disloyal subordinate, not just moving them to another department. It means launching a product so superior it makes your competitors obsolete, not just a little better. It means dismantling their influence, their network, and their platform. The goal is total. The model for this is Cesare Borgia, a figure Machiavelli admired for his ruthlessness. When Borgia discovered his own captains were plotting against him, he didn't just confront them. He invited them to a reconciliation meeting, and as they entered, unsuspecting, he had them seized and strangled. In one swift, brutal evening, he annihilated the entire rebellion. The result wasn't chaos. It was a chilling, sudden peace. He showed that the price of betrayal wasn't a warning, but oblivion. This isn't about cruelty for its own sake. The act should be swift, clinical, and justified as necessary for security. It's a strategic move for long-term survival. Power is a game where you're either the architect of your own security or a victim of someone else's ambition. To be unbreakable, you must be willing to ensure that those who rise against you never get a second chance. Rule 2. Conceal your intentions. The second rule is a law of shadows and silence. Never reveal the purpose behind your actions. The moment your true intentions are known, you become predictable. And a predictable person is a vulnerable person. Our culture tells us to be an open book. In personal relationships, that can be a strength. In the arena of power, it's a catastrophic liability. Being an open book means handing your opponents the weapons to destroy you. The average person broadcasts their every ambition. They talk about the promotion they want, the business they plan to start, the rival they want to crush. They do it for validation, but they don't realize that with every word, they are giving up their greatest advantage. Surprise. When you reveal your goals, you give your rivals time to prepare, lay traps, and sabotage your efforts. They'll put up obstacles you never saw coming. They might even steal your thunder by launching a weaker version of your idea first. You've drawn a target on your own back and told the world exactly where to aim. Imagine a chess player who announces his next 5 moves. You don't need to be a grandmaster to beat him. By being transparent, you're playing chess with your cards face up. You're not being authentic, you're being naive. The world is filled with noise. People constantly signal what they're doing. A Machiavellian mind uses this noise as a smokescreen. The true master of power moves in silence. Their actions are sudden, their motives are murky, and their results are undeniable. Mystery is a form of power. When people don't know what you're up to, they get anxious. They are forced to react to you, never able to plan their own moves. The most dangerous person in the room isn't the loudest one. It's the one whose next move is a complete mystery. The tiger that stalks in silence is the one that eats. So, how do you do it? The solution isn't to become a recluse. It's to become a master of perception. First, say less than necessary. Your silence makes people uncomfortable. They'll rush to fill it with their own theories and anxieties, revealing their own intentions in the process. While they're talking, you're learning. Second, practice strategic misdirection. This isn't about lying. It's about creating a smokescreen. Talk endlessly about your goals, just not your real ones. Create a decoy. Seem passionate about one path, while your real efforts are focused on another, hidden from view. The statesman Otto von Bismarck did this to unify Germany. He publicly championed causes he secretly despised, throwing his rivals off the scent. By the time they realized what he was actually doing, it was too late. Finally, let your actions be ambiguous. Make moves that can be interpreted in multiple ways. This keeps everyone guessing. When you finally achieve your real goal, your victory will seem to have come from nowhere, and people will call it genius. Your true self and your true plans are kept in a fortified inner sanctum. You present a carefully constructed facade to the world, one that is disarming, maybe even a little boring. While behind it, you are calculating, planning, and preparing to strike. Let them underestimate you. Their certainty is your greatest weapon. Rule 3. Wield fear as your primary instrument. This final rule is Machiavelli's most infamous and most misunderstood. It is much safer to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. This isn't a call for tyranny. It's a cold, pragmatic assessment of human nature. The natural impulse, especially for new leaders, is to want to be loved. We think that if our team loves us, they'll be loyal. This desire, Machiavelli says, is a path to ruin. Love, he argues, is a bond of obligation that people will break whenever it's to their own advantage. Loyalty based on love is conditional. It lasts only as long as you're making people feel good. The moment you ask for a real sacrifice, that bond of love evaporates. Think of the manager who wants to be friends with their team. They avoid tough conversations and are overly lenient. The team might love them, but do they respect them? No. They exploit their kindness. When a crisis hits and the manager needs everyone to step up, the love they cultivated is gone. The team rebels or falls apart because their loyalty was never to the leader, but to the comfort the leader provided. Love without fear breeds contempt. Fear, on the other hand, is primal and reliable. Machiavelli isn't talking about the fear that inspires hatred. He means a fear of consequences. It's the certainty that crossing a line will bring a swift and predictable result. This fear doesn't depend on someone's mood or gratitude. It depends on their instinct for self-preservation. A leader who is feared is one whose rules have weight. People are less likely to conspire against someone they fear. The mastery of this rule lies in a crucial distinction. Be feared, but never be hated. Hatred comes from being arbitrary and cruel for cruelty's sake. Hatred fuels rebellion. Fear, used correctly, prevents it. So, how do you cultivate fear without being hated? First, any necessary acts of cruelty must be strategic, not personal. Machiavelli advises that they should be carried out all at once, at the beginning of your rule. This establishes your boundaries in a shocking, memorable way. Then, you can afford to become more lenient, which prevents fear from turning into resentment. Cesare Borgia again provides the perfect model. To pacify a chaotic region, he appointed a ruthless governor, Ramiro de Orco, to crush all lawlessness. Once order was brutally established, Borgia, wanting to distance himself from the cruelty, had de Orco publicly executed and his body left in the town square. With one brilliant move, the people were both grateful to Borgia for dispatching the tyrant and filled with a chilling fear of Borgia's own power. They were left satisfied and stupefied. He used cruelty as a surgical tool. Second, punishment must be consistent and impersonal. It shouldn't be based on your mood, but on a broken rule. People may fear the punishment, but they will respect the system. And third, never interfere with people's property or their honor without absolute justification. As Machiavelli puts it, a man will sooner forget the death of his father than the loss of his inheritance. Be a stern protector, not a predator. Ultimately, wielding fear is about establishing unbreakable respect. You cannot control if people love you. That's up to them. But you can control if they fear you. A wise leader builds their power on what they can control, not on the whims of others. Build your house on the rock of fear, and you'll never be broken by the shifting tides of affection. The world as it is, not as we wish it to be. That is the cold, liberating truth at the heart of Machiavelli's philosophy. These three rules, neutralize threats, conceal intentions, and wield fear, are not a manual for becoming a monster. They are a guide to forging an unbreakable will in a competitive world. To neutralize threats is to understand that survival isn't a game of second chances. To conceal your intentions is to recognize that information is power, and mystery is your greatest weapon. To wield fear is to accept that respect, born from consequence, is far more reliable than affection. These are tools. You can use them to build or to destroy. The choice is yours. But in a world where others are already playing by these rules, to remain ignorant is to choose to be a pawn in their game. The path to becoming unbreakable isn't paved with good intentions alone. It's paved with strategic intelligence and an unflinching understanding of power. You cannot be good if you don't first survive. Embrace these rules not as a descent into darkness, but as an ascent to a new level of awareness. Use them to protect your work, defend your position, and build a fortress around your ambition so strong that no one can ever stop you. The power is now in your hands. If you're ready to master your world, subscribe for more lessons in power, strategy, and resilience. Now, I have a question for you. Which of these three rules hits closest to home for you? The danger of a wounded enemy, the vulnerability of being too open, or the weakness that comes from wanting to be liked? Drop your answer in the comments. Let the world know which principle you will now master.